Let me ask you something. When Man United beat Man City and Arsenal back to back, who did everyone talk about? Michael Carrick, Patrick Doku, Ineos, United DNA, passion, mentality, all fair, all deserved. But there's one name that is barely being mentioned and might actually be the most important name in the entire turnaround: Steve Holland. No one is talking about him, no one is breaking down his role properly, yet if you actually watch how United are playing, how they're defending, how they're setting traps, how they're controlling games without the ball, then you start to realize something. This does not look accidental, this does not look like a team just riding emotion, this looks coached. And Steve Holland is the reason why. Because what we're seeing right now in Man United is not just a new manager bounce, it is a structural reset. It is tactical clarity, it is organization, it is discipline. It is exactly what Steve Holland has built his entire career doing. So today we're going to talk about the man behind the scenes, what he's done, what we have seen against City and Arsenal, why his fingerprints are all over this team, and why no matter who the next manager is, Steve Holland should stay at Man United. Steve Holland is not a hype coach, he's not a vibes coach, he's not someone who lives on social media or press conferences. He's a system builder. This is a man who was Gareth Southgate's tactical right-hand man with England. This was a man who worked under Jose Mourinho at Chelsea. This is a man who helped Antonio Conte build a devastating title-winning Chelsea side. And if you know anything about those teams, one thing always stood out. They were organized, they were compact, they were brutally efficient, and they were mentally resilient. That is Steve Holland football. According to people inside Carrington, Holland has been pivotal in training and in the analyst room. He's heavily involved in opposition prep, offensive structure and pressing triggers, and also spacing between the lines. And here's the key point. Michael Carrick is a young coach, a promising coach, a coach with clear ideas, but pairing him with Steve Holland removes every concern about inexperience. Holland brings elite level structure. Carrick brings relatability, bravery and connection with the players, and that balance is why this has worked so quickly. Let us start with the Man City game because this is where the alarm bells really rang. United won 2-0, but that scoreline flattered City. United could have scored 5 or 6. What stood out immediately was United's shape, both in and out of possession. Out of possession, United were compact, narrow and aggressive in the right moments. The distance between the defense and the midfield was short. City could not play through the middle. Everything was forced wide or backwards. This is classic Steve Holland. City want control, they want overloads, they want to bait you forward. United did not bite. Then in possession, this is where Steve Holland's Conte influence came alive. United built with structure from goal kicks. City were forced into uncomfortable decisions. Rodri was being asked to mark multiple players. Ahmad, Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo were rotating intelligently. That 5-man attacking line was there constantly. 2 players between the lines, 2 wide players high and aggressive, 1 forward pinning the centre backs. City were defending 4 against 5. That is straight from Holland's tactical playbook. Pep Guardiola looked baffled because United were not chaotic, they were deliberate. They were waiting for triggers. When the ball was switched, City's defense hesitated and United attacked space instantly. That is not luck, that is planning. Now let us talk about Arsenal because this is where Steve Holland's impact becomes undeniable. Arsenal are the best team in the league right now. At home, full confidence, and yet from open play, they produce just 0.39 expected goals. That is staggering. United defended as a unit, everyone worked, everyone knew their role. When Arsenal tried to play between the lines, there was no space. When they tried to overload wide areas, United shuffled this one. When United conceded, heads did not drop. This is the biggest change. For years, United have been soft. One setback and the structure collapses. One mistake and panic sets in. That did not happen on the Emirates. This is where Steve Holland's reputation comes in. He drills defensive principles relentlessly, closing space, compactness, collective responsibility. And Harry Maguire called him magnificent before United even played a game under Carrick. That tells you everything. And remember this, defensive organization was not Michael Carrick's strongest area at Middlesbrough. Yet, it has improved instantly here. That is no coincidence, that is Holland. Now we get to the most important part. Michael Carrick's future is still unclear. Ineos will take their time. Roy Keane is not convinced, and that is fine. But regardless of who the next manager is, Steve Holland must stay. Man United has suffered from constant upheaval, new managers, new staff, new ideas every season, and Holland offers continuity without stagnation. He's worked with elite managers, he understands modern tactics, he commands respect in the dressing room, and most importantly, the players are already buying into his methods. You can see it in how they defend, you can see it in how they counter-attack, you can see it in their confidence without the ball. Even if Carrick does not get the job permanently, Holland can act as the bridge. He can stabilize the squad, he can embed structure while the club transitions. 2 games should not define a legacy, but 2 games can reveal the truth. And the truth is this: Man United's turnaround is not just about passion, mentality, or nostalgia. It is about coaching, about Steve Holland is at the heart of it. If United are serious about becoming elite again, keeping Steve Holland should be non-negotiable, because sometimes the most important figure is the one no one is talking about.